Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to day 12, or is it day 13 of the WPT coverage and all things Vegas poker? It's definitely day 12, although I really don't know what day of the week it is. I'm Sherry Pluskota, and I'll be your host this morning. Many thanks to my sponsor, Elevator Results. If you need a tailor-made workout plan to help you lose weight or gain weight, Elevator Results can design that plan. Follow them on Twitter and check out their site at elevatorresultspt.com. Be reminded you can find the recordings of my past spaces and interviews on my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. Please subscribe. Going to hit the ground running because I'm going to be leaving shortly to go watch The Wizard of Oz and the Sphere. And so I'm going to need to get this going quick this morning. Big shout out to the Bellagio for hosting the 6th official Spaces meetup game yesterday. The staff was fantastic, as they always are. Many thanks to Sean McCormick and Craig Larson and the entire staff at the Bellagio Poker Room. They took great care of us, gave us some swag to give away, and it was a blast. They of course, bought pizzas for us, and then as time went on, a few hours went past, they asked us if we wanted more pizzas, and you know, you never can have too much pizza, right? So that was fantastic. We appreciate everybody over at the Bellagio for taking such great care of us. I see Curtis is in the audience this morning. Hey, Curtis, congratulations on winning the B-52 Bomber Trophy yesterday. So that means at the next meetup game, the trophy will be in your honor as the chip leader from yesterday. So congratulations to Curtis. I'm glad you can make it. I think this was your third Spaces meetup game, if my memory serves me correctly, just off the cuff. So anyway, appreciate you and your support for sure. Also, I wanted to let everyone know I'm going to read, let me go back for a minute. I'm sorry. Operating on 3 hours of sleep. Bear with me, folks. I'm going to go through some of the tournaments for today, and I'm going through these because I actually I wrote them out before I left home, and I feel like I would waste my energy if I don't read it out loud. So why write it if you're not going to read it? So over at the Bellagio today at 12 p.m. and 5 p.m., there is a $200 no limit 4K guarantee, 20K starting stack with 20-minute blinds. Over at Mandalay Bay at 1 p.m. is a $60 no guarantee tournament with a 10K starting stack and 15-minute blinds. At 8 p.m. over at Mandalay Bay is a $100 no limit Saturday Night Classic, 20K starting stack, 20-minute blinds with no guarantee. Over at the MGM today at 11:10 a.m. is a $160 no limit deep stack tournament, 3K guarantee, 30K starting stack with 20-minute blinds. At 3:10 p.m. at the MGM is a $125 no limit crazy pineapple tournament, 1K guarantee, 20K starting stack, 15-minute blinds. At 7:10 p.m. is a $125 tournament, $1,500 guarantee, 15K starting stack, 15-minute blinds, and that is a no limit tournament over at the MGM. At 11:10 p.m. is a $125 bounty tournament, 20K starting stack, 15-minute blinds with a 1K guarantee. Over at the, excuse me, there's a lot going on over at the Wynn today. So bear with me. I'm trying to follow my notes. At 11 a.m. is the restart of the $1,600 no limit tournament, event number 20 at the WPT at the Wynn. Also at 11 o'clock start is the $10,400 championship begins. There's no guarantee, 100K starting stack, 60-minute blinds. There's a $600 rake, which includes a $200 staffing fee. Also at 11 o'clock at the WPT is a $600 event number 25, the 250K guarantee, 40K starting stack, 40-minute blinds. Also at 11 o'clock is an $1,100 event number 24, which is the ladies event. Get out there, ladies. 250K guarantee, 40-minute blinds, 40K starting stack. The rake is $135, which includes a $45 staffing fee. I won't be able to play that one today, and I will miss not playing it, but I'm going to see The Wizard of Oz with my daughter at the Sphere. So, daughter comes first. At 12 p.m. is an $1,100 milestone, 25 seats guaranteed into the World Championship, 20K starting stack, 25-minute blinds. Also at the Wynn WPT at 1 p.m. is an $1,100 PLO tournament, 100K guarantee, 30K starting stack, 30-minute blinds. At 6 p.m. over at the Wynn is a $1,100 milestone, 20K starting stack, 25-minute blinds. And at 9 p.m. is a $600 event number 27 turbo tournament, 30K starting stack, 20-minute blinds with a 50K guarantee. A lot going on over at the Wynn today. Over at the Venetian at 11 a.m. is their $2,200 event number 32, day 3. At 6 p.m., at 6:10 p.m. at the Venetian is a $300 bounty tournament event number 39, 25K guarantee, 30-minute blinds. Over at Caesars today at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 6 p.m., and 9 p.m. is a $100 no limit tournament, 1K guarantee, 20K starting stack with 20-minute blinds. So that's just some of the tournaments that are going on around town today. I'm not going to read all of them because I need to get out of the door. And tomorrow is, I do want to make mention, is the ladies event over at the Bellagio. It is a $250 buy-in, 10K guarantee with a 30K starting stack. That starts at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at the Bellagio. That is the ladies event, which I will be playing in, and I'm excited about that event. Um, wanted to I wanted to let you guys know that yesterday at the meetup game, and if you've never not been to a meetup game, you might not realize how busy I am at the meetup games. Um, and it's just the nature of the beast. You're hosting something, people are coming and going. You're trying to get the, places at the pizzas, and it's you're trying to give stuff away, do drawings and whatever. It's just busy, right? It's no problem. But we forgot to give some stuff away yesterday. Can you imagine? So I'm going to do some drawings right now for some of the stuff we did not give away. And as a matter of fact, I took my name, my daughter's name, and her friend that came with her, his name out of the hat, so to speak, because um, the type of prizes are not something that I will use or they will use. So I did take their names per their request. And when they told me about that, I was like, oh, I'm going to take my name out of it too. And it's not because they're not great prizes. It's just, A, I don't have time to use them right now. So maybe one day my name will be in the hat. But right now, I'm trying to cut back, so to speak. So first, we're going to thank the Green Visor Gang because they gave us 3 Phase 6 passes to give away. And even though there were 2 of them with me at that meetup game, we all forgot to do this yesterday. So I have the drawing tickets in a bag, that we used yesterday to give stuff away. And I'm just going to pull three names out. And the first name is Mel Pittard. And the second name is Tom King. And the third name is Todd Rizzo. So let me write these down real quick because I want to put their names back in the hat for the rest of the prizes. And Asimov, let me get you up here. So that was Tom King, Mel Pittard, and Officer Rizzo. So those are our three winners for the Green Visor Gang Phase 6 passes. All right, those names are going right back in the hat. We're going to shake it up. Now, this is Jim Reed over at Rec Poker, who attended the very first meetup game I did at the Aria, graciously gave us 3 premium memberships to give away. So we're going to draw for those right now. All right, the first name out of the hat is Mel King. So congrats to Mel King. And of course, when I reach out to these folks, if they're not interested, then of course we'll do another drawing and give them away again. The next person is Christina Black, and this is for the Rec Poker Premium membership. All right, the third one is Curtis Larson. Congrats, Curtis. Love it. Curtis was the big winner last night of the B-52 Bomber Trophy, which I mentioned earlier. Okay, those 3 folks are going right back into the hat. And the last thing we're going to give away is a GTO starter subscription. I thank Karen Chess for giving that to us to give away. So we've got one of those that we're going to give away right now. Let me get pop up here. I see him requested. And that's going to go to David Stone, which I'm going to tell you a little story about David. Um, Yesterday morning, so congratulations to all those winners, first of all. And thank you to the Green Visor Gang, Jim Reed over at Rec Poker, and of course, Karen Chess, one of our favorites here in Spaces for that GTO subscription. Appreciate all of those things that we could give away. And let me tell you about David Stone for 1 minute, and then I'll welcome everybody to the panel. Yesterday morning, went down to the poker room to play some poker before going off to the meetup game. Met Curtis down there. We're playing. I sit down, and unfortunately, to my left was a very rude guy, and it was going into the first hand of me sitting down. And the dealer got confused about the button. Like, should it pass me? Should I play the small blind? And so I just looked at her and I explained to her, I have to wait for the button to pass by. Well, this guy to my left went ballistic on me about I'm not even in the hand. I shouldn't be talking, blah, blah, blah. And something about women at the poker table, blah, blah, blah. you know, it didn't start out too good. And my friend Curtis down there was not a happy camper, but I appreciate his support. And he allowed me to take care of myself. But he, of course, told me later I was ready to pounce, but you were handling yourself quite well. And, part of that conversation was, I don't know what ladies you play with at the poker table, but I'm not going to take your shit, was one of the things I remember kind of saying. But anyway, it was off to a rough start as far as that guy was concerned. But he figured out really quick that, he's not going to talk to me and belittle me at a poker table. And he just kept babbling and, saying stuff to me. And I just kept turning to him and saying, are you finished yet? We're trying to play poker. Like, are you finished? No, blah, 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 blah. And I would wait about 30 seconds and I would look at him and I'd say, are you finished yet? But anyway, what a jackass. So anyway, I was going to invite the whole table to the meetup game, right? That's how we get more people to support what we're doing and to come into spaces. Unfortunately, there's other people that chase people out of spaces. I'm trying to bring people into spaces and maintain, right? And so I was going to invite everybody at the table if it was a good table. Well, I certainly didn't want this guy to come. So there was another gentleman to my right from Scotland. His name is David Stone. And so as time went on, I leaned over to him and told him about the meetup game, and he came. And it was fabulous. And he won a blanket and a book, Phil Helmy's book. And he was so excited. So that's who's won the GTO starter subscription that Kieran's given away. So I'm really kind of excited for it because this is a new member in our clique, so to speak. Our Spaces clique, but our Spaces family. So just kind of a fun story, and together we will build the game. So Papa Poker, I'm going to welcome you to the floor because Isaac has to stay on mute for a few moments. So we'll introduce him in a minute. But welcome, no, Papa Poker. Sorry about
Poker
you.
Papa, Papa Poker, I'll take either
Oh,
one. But I'm so sorry I missed the meetup game.
I hate it.
I unfortunately was in
Yeah.
California, but I won that Rec Poker prize in a previous
Yeah.
meetup game. So congratulations to all those people and what Jim Reed does there for your meetup game. I had a fantastic experience with Jim and the prize that he had contributed to a prior meetup game.
Oh,
So shout out there.
absolutely. I'm glad you came up and said that because we talk about a lot of stuff, on spaces or just at a poker table. And sometimes we forget those details, like, let's hear how the experience was. So it's nice for you to share that experience. And Jen Reed and that whole Rec Poker family do a great job with what they're doing for sure.
Yeah, like as part of that, and I think he does this for anyone who sort of is new to the group. Like he did a one-on-one call with me. We went over a hand that I was, looking at. So Jim just does a nice job, and obviously that rec poker crew. Now, whenever I see anybody go deep in a tournament, I have that extra connection to that group. So
Heck
props to those guys.
Heck yeah. And I tell you, they're always trying to be involved. They do a lot of fundraising for the food shelter or food pantry. That's a near and dear project to Jim. And so they last year, I think it was last year, they did a silent auction, and I was like, oh, I'll just bid on something and support what they're doing. And I ended up winning it. As a matter of fact, it's something I'm probably going to give away at a future meetup game. It is I forget the player's name. I'm so bad with names. It's horrible. But anyway, it was like I want to say it was a hoodie or a zip up hoodie
Okay.
that he wore. I want to say during the main event or something. I could be having this whole thing mixed up. It's been a year, I think, since I won it. But anyway, I'll probably give that away at a future meetup game for sure. But Jim does so much for the poker world, and so does everybody that works with him. They're very giving with their time and knowledge for sure.
Well, good luck at the Wizard of Oz. I have not made that show yet, but now I'm thinking because I think I'm gonna make it to Vegas. Well, I'm going for
Yes.
CES, but CES is that first week of January, the first full week. So I think I'm gonna go the week prior and the week after and check out the Planet Hollywood circuit event for WSOP. But now I'm like, oh, I need to check out the Wizard of Oz when I'm in town. That sounds amazing.
Well, I can't wait. That's probably in the top three of my all-time favorite movies. So I'm really excited, and I get to share it with my daughter, and she's excited. And yeah, I really can't wait. But I have to tell you, this morning we're operating on 3 hours of sleep less from our.
Oh
Yeah, we
no.
have. I mean, we went and had like dinner with a group of us, and then when we got back to the hotel, we were like, "Oh, let's just, that whole let's just play for a little while." And next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're trying to go to sleep. Um, but I will say, this morning we both kind of rolled over, and we're like, "Oh, we've been run over by a plane, train, and automobile." And then I said to her, you know what? I think we're going to probably both get hit in the head by an apple at the Wizard of Oz today
Oh
because
no.
we'll be sleeping when they drop them from the sky, and we'll probably get hit by the apple. But anyway, it should be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll give you an update when we, are done with it and tell you what we think. But I haven't heard a bad thing about it.
No, it's been amazing. And then my daughter now lives in Las Vegas, so I'm like, oh, if I'm in Vegas, I need to drag her out to
Oh,
Wizard of Oz
yeah.
too. So
Historical event. And I think even more so because it is in the sphere. Um, and they are doing like some, for lack of better word, hands on things like, like the apples falling out of the sky kind of thing. So I really think the experience is going to be amazing. I can't wait. Honestly, I cannot wait. I'm like a kid in this candy store.
well, I wanted to come up and talk about two poker things with you
Love
real
it. Go
fast,
ahead.
which is one, this mystery quest. They're sent down to the final table. I guess Rampage was knocked out like 10th on the bubble
Oh,
of this mystery quest, so he did not make the final table. But my buddy Brian Smith, I think, is going into the final table as number 7 out of 9. I've seen several people. It's going to stream today at 2 o'clock, so I guess cards are in the air at 1 o'clock for that final 9 with over $100,000 on top, and then 400,000 in bounties to this final 9.
wow.
So it's going to be exciting for all these people who, I guess the original entry was like $100, but to now be in a tournament with 2 million up top, I just can't wait to see what happens this
That's
afternoon.
amazing. What a feat to go from $100 to sitting at that final table. Wow.
I mean, it sounds like $500,000 on the line,
Wow.
for a lot of these players. So very
Fantastic. I
exciting.
hate it for Rampage for sure, but he had a great run.
Well, he's an ambassador, so everyone's like, like, should he be in this or not? But obviously, everyone loves to play with Rampage
Well,
too. So.
yeah, he's, from rags to riches himself, right?
Absolutely, like Ethan is doing it right, that's for sure. And then the other thing that's happening today is that Chris Jones, the last time I was on, Chris won that poker org contest to
Oh,
play in
yep,
the
yep.
Bahamas, that $25,000 free
And speaking
entry
of rec
where he
poker, he's part
picked.
of that crew.
That's right. He's part of the
Yep.
crew. He was asking questions on Twitter. He was like, "How do time banks work?" And the Rec Poker crew had to like help him. And Jim's like, "This and this and this. This is how many you get. You get to bag them." And like, he's like, "I've never done this before. Tell me how the time banks work."
I
So,
love it.
um, I guess Chris just started in the past like half hour, where they're going to start this $25,000. I think he's in the last flight or something. But it'll be very interesting to see how, one of us regular people goes up against all these pros down there in the
Well,
Bahamas.
it's going to, put him to the test. And I think he's going to meet that mark. Honestly, I think he's going to do well. I'm excited for him for sure.
Now, did you see the whole Martin thing that
I have no
happened as
clue.
part of that
I'm going to
event?
tell you something. I have been so busy. Like my head is spinning, and I had a couple of conversations yesterday about, you know what? First of the year, I have to like reevaluate what I'm doing because it is way too much. Like I'm stressing over stuff I normally never would even think about because I'm just so busy. I'm afraid I'm going to forget something, miss something. Yeah. So, no,
Well, it's poker overload right now. It's
yes,
poker overload, and then you're in Vegas doing all the stuff you're doing. So I will be the poker reporter,
yes,
the final thing that I
yes,
report on here,
please.
and I'm trying to do stuff with my Papa Poker YouTube channel, and I'm like getting so distracted by these live streams and my Twitter, and it's like, no, I need to be cutting my social media post.
That's
It's like, oh
that's it exactly. That's it.
yeah,
I mean,
but you're promoting the meetup game and everything. I'm seeing it everywhere. So the big thing that happened down in the Bahamas is that, well, first I guess Martin Cabral finished top 3 in a tournament and just won over $1 million
okay.
earlier this week. So he goes from top 3 in a 99-person tournament, wins over $1 million. Now he's in that $25,000 entry main event. And so Martin's at the table. He is like chip leading. So he goes from one final table to chip leading this big thing. And then Mustafa Kanit, I think that's how you say it. I have not encountered him, but definitely a pro who's at this table. And Martin is at the table with him, and Mustafa's trying to decide whether to go all in for his tournament life. and he has 3 time banks left, and he asks the dealer, "Hey, how many have I used?" And he's only used 1, and then Martin jumps in and says, "No, it's 2," and starts yelling at him, and he's in a really big spot debating whether to go all in, and so then Mustafa's like, "I need to think," and so he calls the floor, and so the clock stops because of this, and Martin's like, ranting at him, which is not a surprise. The floor comes over, and the floor is like a buddy of the floor is like a buddy of Martin. And so he's already siding on Martin's side. So then Mustafa has to call another floor over. He's like, I need someone who's not a buddy with Martin. And it's a whole back and forth. And Mustafa finally decides to go all in. He goes all in with King 10. Martin has King 4. And then he holds. And the whole time, Mustafa is in his classic sort of Martin impersonation saying, "Let's dance, Martin, let's dance." And the video is on Poker News, and it's a whole back and forth. But Mustafa won. Martin had plenty of chips, so everybody's still alive and everything. But it was quite an entertaining little scene as Martin got a little taste of his own medicine. Um, and I may be the only one here. Is We may be holding up the stream. So that was very exciting there in the um, WSOP down in the Bahamas. It is so interesting that all this action's happening at the Win. Obviously, the main event's now getting underway at the Win, so we're excited to see that too. And it's been so interesting to see all of the different poker events happening.